Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. My name is Chelsea. I am a quantum healing hypnosis technique and beyond quantum healing practitioner. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about these modalities of hypnotherapy or quantum healing, what they do, how they work, who they're good for. So let's just dive right in. So I'm going to start with quantum healing hypnosis technique. So QHHT was unintentionally discovered by Delores Cannon. In the 70s or 80s, Dolores was working as a normal hypnotherapist. She would see people who wanted to lose weight or wanted to stop smoking, things like that. And then one day during a session, she had unintentionally guided her client into a past life. So at this time, Dolores had never really considered past lives. It wasn't really something that she had thought about, but she was very curious and wanted to know more. And so over the course of 45 years, she had crafted and evolved her technique into what it is known as today. So essentially, the way QHHT works is it is guiding the client into the theta brainwave state. And we naturally enter into the theta brainwave state at least twice a day. In the morning, in between our sleeping and awake state, and then at night as we are transitioning from being awake into sleeping. And so in theta brainwave state, we are completely tapped out of the left logical analytical aspect of our brain, and we are tapping into the right hemisphere of our brain, which is responsible for showing us the pictures in our dreams. And this is also, it's more of the intuitive aspect of our mind. And so essentially, so Dolores, she had traveled all over the world conducting this technique on her clients, as well as teaching seminars and eventually teaching how to do quantum healing hypnosis technique. And what she found was so amazing was that there seemed to be this underlying voice within each of us that we all have. For lack of better words, she had named this the subconscious mind. But we might also be familiar of this as the higher self or the oversoul, or even tapping into the Akashic Records. So when she really started realizing how profound this was when she would be conducting a session, let's say in America, and she would receive information from her client, and she would record all of her sessions. And then she would go to Europe, let's say, and her next client would give a continuation of the story from what she was receiving from the client in America. And the information that she was receiving from these sessions was pretty incredible. Over her career, she wrote about 30 different books, and the topics ranged from past lives, the afterlife or where we go in between lives, UFOs and extraterrestrials, and even quantum physics and the mechanics and the workings of the universe. And so she had never studied any of these topics, but the information that she was receiving and she was writing books about, researchers and doctors, they were astounded because she was receiving information that was in alignment with their course of study or what they had known. And so essentially, when we do sessions, these quantum healing hypnosis technique sessions, we're able to connect to the all-knowing and all-healing aspect within ourselves that lies within each of us. We're able to find answers to all of our questions. And these answers, they lied within us the whole time. So another incredible thing about Dolores's practice was that a lot of her clients would see her as like a last resort. They would have terminal illness or just cancer, or they were in a bad way, and they would see her because they had tried everything. And Dolores was astounded because during her sessions, she had seen cancerous tumors shrink. Her patients would go into remission after a single session, and their doctors would be at a loss for words. They wouldn't be able to explain what happened. She would have clients who would go into her office for their session using a walker or a wheelchair, and then after the session, they would be able to just get up and leave. And what she had came to understand was that the way that our body works, when we have disease or when we have some sort of pain or ailment, our body, it's signaling, it's like its messaging system. It's our subconscious mind trying to give us information, trying to let our conscious mind know that there's some sort of imbalance, something is wrong. Hey, like, focus your attention here. But because that's not how we really look at the body, that sounds very woo-woo. But all illness and all disease starts off as an energetic imbalance. And so when you're able to quiet the conscious, analytical, logical mind and tap into the higher self, the aspect of you that is all-knowing, then you're able to receive the message that the body is trying to relay and trying to put across. And so a lot of our traumas, we carry them for decades throughout our life. They're rooted in childhood, or even our traumas are rooted in past lives, and we carry them forth into our current life now. And why this needs our attention and our focus is because a lot of the mental blocks or a lot of the problems that we experience in our current life now, we carry them forth from past lives or from our childhood. And so we're able to bring energy, bring our focus and awareness into this energetic imbalance within ourselves. And once we do that, the signaling system, the messaging system has no reason to cause disease or to cause pain anymore. And so that's how it can subside. Once the message is relayed, then the person understands and the communication has been processed. It's been relayed. So our consciousness is expanding. And as our consciousness expands, what clients are able to experience in these sessions, it transcends time and space. It's so much more than past lives. Clients are able to go into off-planet lives, or they're able to go into parallel lives, future lives. And so really what can be experienced during these sessions is limitless. And so Beyond Quantum Healing was created by Candace Craw Goldman. And she had traveled and studied and taught alongside Delores Cannon for about 10 years. And so by the time Dolores had transitioned into the spirit realm, I think it was around 2014, before she had passed, she was still traveling the world and conducting sessions and teaching up until her very last weeks. And she was adamant that these sessions, these QHHT sessions, should never be done virtually. They always needed to be done in person because of the deep level of trance that we guide our clients into. And so around 2014 or 2015, Candace, who was working and teaching alongside Delores Cannon, had modified the technique in order to give practitioners the option of being able to conduct virtual sessions. And so essentially, Beyond Quantum Healing is still guiding the client into the theta brainwave state, and it's still accessing a very deep level of trance, but she has just modified it so that it wouldn't go against Dolores's wishes of never being done virtually. And so essentially, Beyond Quantum Healing is an evolution of quantum healing hypnosis technique. And as I had mentioned, as our consciousness is expanding, what is coming forth in sessions is also expanding. And so that's what really makes this method so quantum. It's like it's not being confined by time and space. It's really limitless. And so I believe that these modalities are so important to us during this time, especially for a number of reasons. Because it allows our clients to tap into their highest selves. And we find that after sessions, myself included, and people who I've worked with, it's so much easier to access that higher self that lies within us that we so often just ignore. And also, what's really interesting and why I think it's really important, why I believe that these modalities are so important and powerful in assisting us during these times, is because a lot of information that Dolores was receiving, that she had wrote books about, is this journey of ascension that we are currently experiencing on this planet. It's the transition of the denser, fear-based reality, or the third dimension, into that of the fifth dimension, which is a reality that's rooted in love. So we're moving out of the heavier, denser energies of hate and fear and into the lighter energies of love. And this is happening because of the area and space that we are entering into. So this is known as a number of things, might be understood as the precession of equinoxes, or the transition of the Kali Yuga into the Golden Age, or the transition of the Piscean Age into the Age of Aquarius. It's all just different words for the same thing. It's this evolution, this planetary evolution that we're experiencing right now. And what's really important is that as we are ascending and as we are entering into this reality that's rooted in love, we are being asked to leave all of our traumas and our karma behind, because we can't bring it forth with us. It's too dense, it's too heavy, it just won't work. And so these modalities are very powerful in showing us where we still hold on to trauma, where we are still trapped in our karmic cycles, where we hold on to fear, where it's coming from. It's really important for us to transmute and alchemize all of this heavy, dense energy so that we can move forth in ascension. And so what she was finding, a lot of information that she was receiving, and that other intuitives or astrologers or healers have been talking about for decades, is this transition that we're experiencing. And the way that Dolores had explained it in her books is that our earth is literally splitting into two because of this new area and space that we are entering into. So there's going to be the 3D earth, the earth that's rooted in fear. And there's going to be the earth that's rooted in love, the new earth, that of the 5D. And so what we're seeing now is this massive polarization of these two realities that we're experiencing on Earth during this time. And it is so clear that the information that Dolores was pulling forth about the shift and about this transition into the new Earth, it's very clear that we are experiencing it now. We are in it. And so a lot of the information that comes through during these sessions is to assist us in this planetary ascension. It's so that we can understand what we can do during this time of great change. We can, and a lot of it helps ourselves on an individual level, but also a lot of information that comes through during these sessions can help humanity, can help on a collective level. And so this is just, it's very powerful work that's being done in the QHHT and BQH community. And so, yeah, I think that kind of covers pretty much everything that I want to say about it. I feel like that's a pretty good, that's some pretty good insight on QHHT and BQH. So if you're interested in a session, reach out to me. You can just leave a comment here and find me, and then I'll reach out to you. Also, if you are a practitioner, I would love to hear about your experiences, what you're experiencing in your practice right now, and when you connect with people, the information that's coming forth. In another video, I am going to talk about my first personal quantum healing experience and information that came through, because I think a lot of what came through can be of benefit to a lot of people right now. And yeah, so if you want to know more, I would love to connect. Tell me your experiences. And yeah, thank you for listening. I wish you so many blessings and all the love, and I really look forward to connecting with you all. Blessings.